Hello friends, today we are finishing up my kitchen organization and decorating, and we will also be doing a little organization tour at the end. Now that I have everything organized, it was my goal for January to totally organize my kitchen, and I finally got that set. And today I wanted to share with you some systems and organization that I did that I think was really helpful. A lot of you asked for some spice cabinet organization ideas, and that was definitely on my list too. I really wanted to tackle that and just get it in a good system because I really didn't like how I had it before, but I'm loving what I came up with. So I think you guys are going to enjoy that. And then I also just want to share with you different ways to save space in your cabinets, how I display some of my favorite pretty pieces, nostalgic pieces, all things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is my current situation. It just looks very cluttered and chaotic. This third shelf is hard for me to reach. I can barely reach it, so I try to keep everything I need within these first two shelves, but there's just not enough room, as you can see. So what I tried to do is the other day I found these acrylic spice organizers. They're the ones that, go up. And honestly, this still looks very chaotic to me. And another thing that I really didn't like about these is you can't really see the stuff that's in the back. And also, if you have any spices that are a bit larger like these, they can only fit in the front or the second shelf, and they're not really ones that I use all the time, so I don't want them to be up front, and they block things, and I don't know, these just are not my favorite. So I'm going to return them, and I came up with a different solution, which will also give me all of this space so that I can kind of move this stuff on the second shelf, even some of my teas on the third shelf, move them down and just give myself some more room. And this will just not look cluttered. I hate not being able to see everything. I feel like that's how things just get lost and forgotten about. So let's go ahead and change this up. So I saw on Pinterest that someone used a drawer to keep their spices organized in, and I found these spice drawer liners that I'll be using today to keep them in place, and this idea just seemed so much better than keeping them in my cabinet. This is what the liner looks like. It's very durable, but it's also made of like almost a foam material, so you can cut it. So what I'm doing is, oops, forgot this piece. What I'm doing is I'm going to put this all the way towards the back. So I have it firmly pressed against the back of the drawer, and then I'm just going to fold it right here pretty firmly so I know exactly where to cut. You could also measure this, but I'm always looking for the lazy girl way to do it. So as you can see, it left a little mark, and that's where we're going to cut. And then we'll just confirm that this is a good fit, which it is. So we'll go ahead and cut a couple more strips using this piece as our guide. Here's what it looks like with them all in. I have 5 in my drawer, and I would say this is a pretty standard size drawer, and I have about this much left. So let's go ahead and get these spices in here. Here's what the after looks like. I totally love this. My favorite part is you can see everything. I did put in the back some of my awkward shaped or larger ones, and you can, I mean, you can see them for the most part. I know what they are, but you can't see the whole bottle, obviously. So I have like, you know, my rectangle ones, different spices like that. They're really tall, awkward shaped. And then I kind of just try to keep like labels together. I'm not a huge fan of buying different spice bottles, making your own labels, switching everything over. To me, I just think that's not really practical. It's nothing that I personally would maintain, but I can totally maintain this. My other thought was you could totally do this without the liner, but you wouldn't have this like non-slide thing that I have going on. Like I feel like they would be moving if you didn't have the liner, versus with a liner, as you can see, they are just staying there. So you can get them out pretty easily, and then they do move around. So let's see if I took out like random ones from each thing, just see what they would do. So there's a little movement, but it pretty much stays, so you know exactly where to put them back. So I definitely love this way more than the little organizers I tried to do in my cabinet. This is awesome. If you can find some room in a drawer, highly recommend doing this. Now that I have a whole other shelf free in my cabinet here, I can organize everything so I can see it all, and every item has its own place. That is key with being able to maintain an organization system. If everything has a place, it's so much easier to keep things organized.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is.
Okay, so here is the final reveal. This is so much more convenient. I condensed all of my teas into a glass jar, so that saved me a lot of room, and also just removed a lot of the clutter from the boxes and the packaging. Up here I have this little Lazy Susan turntable, and I have a lot of my sprinkles, baking items, things like that on there. Over here are my supplements. I decided to keep my salt and pepper up here, and then I also have my toasted sesame seeds in the back. I constantly am reaching for those. My olive oil is condensed into this little glass holder. Again, it just cuts down on packaging, and it also fits in this tighter space, whereas the bottle did not. Speaking of not being able to fit, this spray olive oil, which I use all the time, doesn't fit. So I'm just gonna leave it laying down like this. I have my nut butters, honey, and then in here, this is just a bunch of toppings that I like to use. So different like nuts, coconut flakes, things that I like to put on my oatmeal or just while I'm cooking and things. So I'm really happy with how this space turned out. Okay guys, don't judge me for this. This is completely, I didn't do anything to this. It's just a complete mess, but it's time to organize the dreaded junk drawer. Let me show you what I purchased to help me tackle this. Sometimes you just need a little motivation. So I found at Walmart that they have a line with the Home Edit, which is so awesome because it's way more affordable than their line at the Container Store. So this is their 10-piece, it's called a bath edit, but you could totally use this for your kitchen drawers as well. It comes with 3 large insert bins, 4 medium and 3 small, so you have a lot of room to kind of mix and match and see what's going to fit. And then this was only around $25, which, like I said, way cheaper than you would find at the Container Store. And I believe these are all just unique sets to Walmart as well. So they have a lot of different things. So definitely check that out if you're looking for some organizers. I really enjoy the Home Edit organizers. And then since these are acrylic and the bottom of my drawers, if we can even see them, are brown, this is just an aesthetic thing for me. I decided to get some drawer liners just so it can look a little prettier. I originally was thinking white, but then I found these at Walmart, Pioneer Woman brand, and they just looked really cute and made me happy. So we're gonna try those out as well. So these are our two things that are gonna get us motivated and help us clear out this junk drawer.
Drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me how it feels.
Going through and decluttering and finding new systems that would work for each space in my kitchen was a very daunting task, but one that I knew would be so worth it in the end. Something that really helped me was giving myself a realistic timeline. For me, I wanted to be done by the end of the month, and it was helpful to have a deadline so I had something to motivate me to push through, especially on days when I just didn't feel like doing it. It's also been so satisfying finding new ways to organize that are actually sustainable, and having a clutter-free space really does declutter my mind and makes me feel so good and just kind of more on top of things.
I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, yeah, I can carry all that you've got to every.
Okay, are you guys ready for this transformation? Because it is pretty intense. I was so mindful when I was going through all of the mess that was in here before. I was mindful of what I wanted to bring back in this space, and I selected items that we use either every day or at least once a week, just things that I feel like I'm constantly looking for, are very useful to us. So for example, in this bin, I have all of my different tape varieties. I also have a screwdriver. We're always using these for toys or one thing or another. And then I also have this little pack, which comes in handy all of the time for things as well, of just smaller size screwdrivers. We have our sharpened pencils, a Sharpie, a pen, and then, some E6000. I keep a lot of craft items because I'm always just reaching for things to craft. So for example, this might not be for everyone to keep in their junk drawer, but it was important for me to have my hot glue gun handy. I'm always reaching for this thing, so I wanted it in here. And then I have my scissors. I usually am constantly looking through all of my kitchen drawers to find one of these two scissors. So I'm like, let's just give them an official place. Also thumbtacks. You guys know I love to use this in my decor. Over here I have this little first aid kit and measuring tape. We have kind of just like self-care, if you will, items. We have nail cutters, one of my little lipsticks, and then some nail glue. Over here, this is my Airwick refill, some matches, and then just some various chargers, USB port. But I am just so excited about this. It absolutely turned out amazing, and yeah, definitely worth it. These organizers are great. I think I just have this one left. So I'm gonna decide which drawer I wanna use it in. The one thing that I will say that I wish these organizers did is this one I feel like should fit this way in this long drawer. But I can fit it in like this, which works well for scissors. But aside from that, that's really my only complaint with these organizers. Otherwise, I love it. I love this pad that I added because, again, these don't reach all the way in the back of the drawer, but I feel like the pad keeps them from moving and slipping around. So love this. All right, so the next thing we are doing is I went through all of my cabinets and I pulled out pieces that are sentimental to me or just pieces that I want to decorate with for a specific time of year. For example, right now I really gravitate towards displaying white items, silver pieces, things that just really keep my home feeling light and bright. But I do this all of the time. Whenever I just want to get a new look or, for the season, I go through all of my cupboards and I look for serveware, dishes, cups, antique pieces, anything that I can clear out some space in my cupboards and use to decorate around my house. I have 2 designated areas that I specifically do this with. I have these shelves in my dining room that I am always switching up with different pottery pieces from my cabinet, and then also this really pretty vintage cabinet, which just in itself brings me so much joy. I pulled out a bunch of different options from my kitchen cabinets, and it just gave me so much more room already, and it's going to be able to double as decor, which I think is just such a cool way to free up space and also add in a lot of decor, and hopefully it will bring you joy if you're displaying pieces that you find pretty or just things that you really love. Here's everything laid out that I plan on decorating with for my cabinet. I love decorating with collections. These are these milk glass bud vases, and then linens are really good just to soften up a space, and I love just finding these neutral colored linens. Greenery, always a great thing to add to any space. I've been using a lot of blues in my decor, so I have these vases. I love this happiness rolling pin from Kirkland's a couple years ago. Just some glasses to reflect light, more linens, and then some of my dishes I figured I could just store up there as well.
You could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I know you haven't noticed.
Okay, so I don't want this video to get too long, but a couple people asked me to do a tour when I was done, and I thought that was a great idea. So real quick, my open pantry, I keep a lot of my baking items, like rice, pasta, things like that, and then down below is where the kids' snacks are. I showed that in another video of how I organized it. Same with my fridge, but I'll show you real quick. And then I had some questions on whether or not you can fit actual containers in these drawers, and you can if they're like the smaller fruit containers. So whatever you want to do. Sometimes like these grapes, I have them out, and then other times I leave them in. I have these blueberries in there right now, but I totally love this fridge organization. It's transformed just how I grocery shop, how I keep things organized. It's really great. And then here is the bag organizer. This thing is seriously amazing. And then I just keep some of my plastic wrap, things like that. Down here is where I keep some Tupperware. I don't have a ton, to be honest with you. I'm not a big Tupperware lover. My KitchenAid mixing bowl, my blender, and then this is what I ended up doing with my pot and pan lids. I feel like these are a problem area for a lot of people. They have racks and stuff, but these just happen to fit perfectly there for me, and it's just easy. We always love easy organization. As you guys saw, I organized all my spices in this drawer. I absolutely love that. This is my cutlery utensil drawer. I recently switched out my spoons, knives, and forks for this beautiful gold set from Target. And then I just have my other ones here in case, you know, I'm hosting and I need extra ones. So yeah, I just kind of keep things contained in bins. And then everything else kind of just goes in a space over here. But I really went through and decluttered things that I didn't need, if I had duplicates, things like that. Under here is where I keep my pots and pans, and I did want to show you something that I got from my mom. If you have some that are just kind of sensitive and can scratch easily, I use that same drawer liner to just put on the bottom, since I do like to stack these together just for storage. This helps it so it doesn't get scratched. So yeah, and I love that I have those lids out of here. It just keeps everything, I don't know, I feel like it's just way less cluttered, so that's been great. Under my sink was a place that really needed some attention, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. First of all, keeping my paper towels off of my counter has been awesome. And then this is how I have it set up right now. I just keep some extra, like 1 or 2 paper towels in here and the rest in my guest bathroom. And then I have our dish pods. This thing is from the Target Dollar Spot, so that's really nice. I like to have something with a lid but also clear. And then I just put my garbage bags in this acrylic container and just kind of fed one through the little hole. Over here I just have soaps and sponges, magic erasers, and then I love this turntable down here. I have my soaps, my all-purpose cleaners, my stainless steel cleaner, and then this thing I plan to use a little command hook and hang here. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but that's the plan. I think that'll be good. It'll kind of get it out of my way, and I like to use this to kind of clean out my drawers and things like that, or just tiny spills around the kitchen. So recently I decided to move all of my pans and like cookie sheets and stuff out from under here. Mine kept coming off the track and it was just very annoying. So I have this nice drawer that I've just been able to stack them all on, and for me it's just a lot simpler. And then I keep my cutting boards on top, and then down below I have my favorite pictures and things like that, other just kind of like decor kitchen items. Here is our vitamin cabinet, and one new thing that I did is I got these little turntables for just like our go-to everyday vitamins. So it just makes it really easy to be able to access everything. I really enjoy those. So I just have like our everyday stuff on the bottom and then more specific things up here. And then the kids get their own basket up top. So I really like how this cabinet turned out as well. And then it's also really great if you can find some glass containers that you don't mind storing things on your kitchen counters. These are from IKEA and I think they're so pretty. So I save a lot of space by emptying my oatmeal and some of my flour into these. Also, if you have any wooden cutting boards, those are great to keep out on your counter for decor as well. And then this is pretty much my second junk drawer, but it's really focused on like handyman things. We have various nails and screws, we have loose change, tools, extra tape, sanders, batteries, all of my command hooks, just all in one spot, my paintbrushes. So this is kind of like our home DIY drawer, if you will. And then down here is where I keep my bowls, my strainers, different things like that. I have a ton of casserole dishes, probably too many, but yeah, I like to keep things that I entertain with in here. Showed you guys this already, but I just cannot get over how organized this junk drawer is. When Ryan opened it the other day, he was like, whoa, because it was just that big of a change. And then down here is, you know, where I keep the kids' cups. And then this other drawer is where I keep like their plates and bowls and Miles's lunch stuff. Okay friends, I hope you found today's video inspiring. It gave you some ideas. I love having an organized and decluttered space starting out the new year. I spend so much time in my kitchen, so this has been a project that was time consuming but definitely worth the effort. I gave myself plenty of time to get this project done. It's not something that I would say you can do in a day or even a weekend. Give yourself plenty of time, and like I said, it feels so good to finally be organized, totally worth all of the effort. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you in my next video.